Morning. Hi, Sue. I hope we have more than 6 people join us. Would be nice. Here we go. Somebody else has joined. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Nicola. Morning, Jean. So the theme today is fairy hugs, as you see from the description, and a bit all over the place at the moment. Oh, let me push my door to. Otherwise it goes back and forth in the wind. Yes, there's quite a lot going on, personally and work-wise at the moment. So we will just crack on with a bit of a demo. Might not be a long one today. If we don't have too many joinees, we'll stop early. Okay, so the selection that we've got is existing designs. So they're all available on my website at the moment, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, for shipping to UK addresses. Aside from that, you can always get them from fairyhuggers.com at any time, shipping worldwide, and you can get them from the craft store on the days that the shows are on. So tomorrow I have shows at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. on the craft store. So if you want to purchase anything from there, you need to purchase tomorrow. So I won't show you all the stamps. I won't show you all my samples. I might do at the end, show you a few of my journal pages. So the selection that we've got on are some that we can use for Christmas. This one's called Snowy Fur, which is intended to be used for Christmas, and all the little gaps there are ideal for you to use your gel pen or put your glitter on. But there's a lot of stamps on the shows that can be used any time of year. So my demos are going to be a mix of Christmas and non-Christmas. I'm going to use one of the Fairyscapes. These aren't on the show, but you can purchase these from me on my website or from fairyhugs.com. So we're going to use this one, just because I normally use my backgrounds, and I will do in a minute, but we're going to use this one. There's lots of lovely ones, and using stencils, I mean, that's Galaxy stencil. This is the Woody stencil, which I think are out of stock at the moment. I've not been able to restock for a while. So, as always, when I plan a layout, I mean, Bonnie has designed these papers. Bonnie is the lead DT member, and she does a cracking job with the papers. So, what I always do is kind of place my stamps in the acetate as to where I think I'm going to have them. So we're going to use Solara, and she's going to be coming in. I think that's what we're going to use. I don't know, maybe not. So she's going to be coming in, perhaps have the tree up there. And you can see her hand is kind of poised like that. Now, she could be holding some of the little decorations from the decorating tree set. Or she can be playing with some moon dust, which is probably what we're going to do today. And we could have an animal watching. We've got the little raccoons on the show. And this one's a little bit like a red panda, so he could be watching to see what she's doing as well. So it's a really good kind of jump start for you. We can always also bring in, because we want a smallish sentiment probably, because with Love at Christmas it's a little bit, well, I don't know, actually it might fit, so we might use it with Love at Christmas, or we might, because obviously things change as I stamp them, Or we might bring the Have a Fairy Christmas, and we might have that in, because I don't have many of the With Love at Christmas left at the moment. We're also going to bring in some moon dust, and I've got 2 of these, and I'll explain to you why I've got 2. And we're also going to bring in some of the little condo dwellers as well. So that's the plan. Whether we stick to the plan or not is beside the point. We might not. That's all right, Caroline. Yeah, the With Love at Christmas is lovely, isn't it? I think I've only got a couple left. Right, so let's pull in my stamping platform, and you'll be pleased to know we're not using the squeaky one, because this is a 6x6 paper, and so it doesn't fit in the squeaky one. So we're going into the Press to Impress. So have I got another one under there? I thought I had. So let's go for the Snow Fur first. I've got an idea with this. I don't know if it'll work. There's nothing like doing things live to see whether they're going to work or not. So we're just going to dust it with an anti-static pad. And these papers do take the inks really well because they're not coated. Really good rub of an anti-static bag. Then we're going to bring in our Snowy Fur. I think I decided to put it about there, hadn't I? I'll just check in a minute. So where's Solara? So Solara's going to be coming in about there. Yeah, I think that's about where we want it. Down a little bit. And I think what we're going to do is... decisions. I think we will go for a green, just in case what I do doesn't work. And we're going to go for Green Oasis Versifying Clear. It's sticky. I've not used it for a little while. So lots of tapping. This is a lovely bright green. Actually, probably forest green would have been better, but we're going with this one. This is what I've decided on, and this is what we're going with. Lots of tapping within an inch of its life, as always, making a mess. Wouldn't be me if I wasn't making a mess, really, would it? We're going to pop that. It's quite a bright green. Hi, Annette. And Bonnie has done a fabulous YouTube video. She did share it to the Fairy Hugs store groups. Do make sure that you join the Fairy Hugs store group. I think I need to go twice with this. Oh no, it looks good. Looks good. Okay. Yeah, she's done a fantastic video using the Snowy Fur with a very similar layout to this one that I'm going to do. And she's done a little bit of colouring with the Prismacolor pencils on top. So it's a really nice video to go and watch. Lots of ideas. So if you go to the Fairy Hugs store, you should be able to find it. Just search for Bonnie and you'll see all the posts. So we're going to fetch that out of here. What I thought we might do is, and I might change my mind once I've done it, but then it'll be too late. We're going to add some embossing glaze over the top, because I keep on meaning to do with this. I thought I would stamp it in black and then put it on, but we've gone with the green. So we're going to use the Cracked Pistachio embossing glaze on top. And this is a translucent embossing powder, so you tend to see the colour underneath. It'll be interesting to see how vibrant the Cracked Pistachio is on top of this. We might not see a lot of difference, but it's worth a go, isn't it? I thought actually if I'd have done it in black it would have like a green tinge to it, which is probably what I would have done if I'd have been thinking about it, but I wasn't. So this is what we're doing. Let's see if my heat tool works. A little bit temperamental at the moment. A little bit there that I don't want. Yeah, so we can't see that much difference actually. It's just given the green and more of a glaze. I will try it at some point with the black and see what it looks like. Quite nice though. Nice and shiny. Beautiful. Right, okay. That's my tree. And so as I said, the idea is, and we can do some of it in a little while, is to add your gel pen in the gaps where the snow's fallen, rather than seeing the stars behind it, because they're not gaps in the tree, they are actually where the snow is. As always, you get a little kink as your paper kind of expands and then doesn't. So we have to deal with that at the moment. It will flatten out at some point. Right, so let's take Solara, and I'm going to stamp her in black. She's coming in. See, I love the hills on this. Obviously you can do your own hills, but I love the hills on this because it gives them somewhere to stand. So she's going to come in here, like that. And then we might as well, as we're doing it, we might as well stamp our little raccoon who is coming in here to see what she's up to. What are you doing, Solara? Well, I don't know. I'm going to add some magic dust to that tree, I think, and I'm going to make it flower. That would be a first, wouldn't it? Making a fir tree flower. You can do anything in the Magic Kingdom, though, can't you? Right. So let's have this. Let's have Solara in black, and let's have, what have I got here? There it is. And we're going to have the raccoon in acorn. Oh, my desk is such a mess, and it's not going to get any better. Right. It makes me laugh when they say I'm such a tidy crafter, because I'm really not. I've got so many shows on the go. I've got so many bits and pieces out. Had one hell of a weekend, but we won't talk about that. So now this is the black, the Nocturne. And because she's quite a solid stamp, I'll probably have to do it a couple of times. But they might prove me wrong. Sometimes I do. Tidy up as usual. That's all right, Diane. Nice to see more people watching. I was a little bit worried to begin with. So her wing's gone off the edge a little bit there, but that's all right. It doesn't matter. I don't mind that. It's only a curly bit. Let's see if I can lift this up without moving it, seeing as I've embossed. Ooh, not too bad. Not too shoddy at all. Let's make them a little bit darker. Add some more ink. This is where I don't put the right ink on the right thing. I have gone acorn on there, so I'm on a win. Picking up the black. I have to remember to clean this on because I've gone off the edge. As in the stamping platform. Not the stamps, of course. Why would I? Control press. There we are. Perfect. Happy with that. So the fairy skates are a really good kind of starting block for you if you're unsure about backgrounds and stuff. I didn't really clean that, I just made it so I don't get so inky when I pick her up. That's Solara. And then we've got to put our raccoon back. Where's the other raccoon gone? There it is. Could be a red panda. So we don't have raccoons in this country. It's whatever you want it to be in fairyland. So what should we do now? So let's bring in, we do want to have, and why wouldn't we? We're going to have some condo dwellers. This is Condo Dwellers 2, and Condo Dwellers 2 has 6 stamps on it. The Condo Dwellers, the original one, has 5 stamps on it. And they're just mini fairies, little mini fairies. So we can have them kind of coming in. So this one can be perhaps coming in to sit on one of the branches. And let's see, I don't want to have too many because I want to make sure I get my dust in. So which way is this one? This one can be sitting, maybe. No, don't want that one. Which one do I want? That one can come in as well. No, I'm not going to put any more on at the moment. Faff. Let's just do those 2 for now. Did that move? Let's see where she's going. Yeah, I do want her to be sitting on the top and not floating about a millimetre above. So these have still got little wings that you can colour in if you want to. Look at the mess I'm making now. It's just insurance purposes using the stamp platform. You don't need to. Let's see how dark they are. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely fine. So you're building yourself a little fairy story up. And they could be living in a fairy garden if you wanted them to be. So, and of course they've got all their condos. We've got tree condo, we've got the fairy condo. They could even live in the gnome condo if they really wanted to, if they felt like hanging out with the gnomes. So, fairy dust. So, the moon dust rather. So, the moon dust stamp, as you can see, has got a moon added to it. So, we can definitely bring in the moon like that if we wanted to. I'm not going to on this card, but we absolutely could, and that would fit. But what I've done with mine is, because I was fed up of masking it off, so I've got 2. I've got one that's complete, and then I've cut another one up, because you can, because it's your stamp. So this one, let's see, this one I can have her actually casting some fairy dust over there like that. And if I wanted to, I've got a little star that's separate as well, and then I've got a moon and 2 stars that's separate. It's absolutely fine doing that if you want to do that. It's one of the cheaper or less expensive stamps, so it's quite easy to do. Why is that not folding properly? That's because that's there, that's why. Right. And this one I'm going to do with my lighter one, I think. So we're going to go with Morning Mist, which is a grey. Okay, so we've got some little bits of fairy dust that she's kind of sprinkling around. Cool, isn't it? Zoom meeting. Right, so it just means I've got 3 stamps there, 3 in 1. They're your stamps, you make them work how you want them to. Obviously I've pulled another one out of stock so I can use one in its entirety, because I can. Right, so let's see, we do want to decorate the top a little bit, I think. Maybe, I don't know, might not. So let's see where we want to put the sentiment. Possibly have, that's too big, definitely is too big. Not quite. Or will it fit? It's a little bit big, isn't it? I think we'd be better off having the Fairy Christmas one, just because it's smaller. Look at my card all. When I glue it to my background rather, it'll be fine. Let's try and get that to sit properly while I stamp this. Let's have this here. So that means if we put it there, we can bring another little Condo Dweller coming in on the other side. So I might not bring in any foliage on this because it's Bonnie's added the stars. we're covered already, and it is a Christmas card anyway. I don't know if that's going to be straight. Let's have a look. It's straight enough. That'd be good for me. Now let's bring in some Conda Dwellers coming from this side. So there's a little fairy that wants to join in. She's desperate to join in, so we need one to come that way. And it's got to be that one. So she's going to come in there like that. Okay. She's going to be black like the other ones. Am I on black? No, that's Morning Mist. That's black. See how quickly you can build a scene. I really actually like silhouettes because you don't have to colour in. So that makes everything so much quicker. I mean, obviously, I'd probably add a little bit of colour to the, I'm going to call him a panda, to the red panda. There used to be a red panda in Dudley Zoo. I don't know if there still is. Let's see how we're looking. Perfect. I would also colour in the fairy's wings as well. Use my Sentimentally Yours watercolour blending brush pens and colour in. I mean, you can't so much watercolour on this card, but you can use the pens direct. So yeah, so I'd add a little bit to that. Then we'll just do a little bit. I'm not going to do all of it because I don't want to right now. I'll just show you what it looks like when you add a little bit of gel pen to the snowy fur, because it does make quite a difference. Let's just sort my stamps out, otherwise I'm going to get in a mess. Right, there's my Christmas ones. Move those out of the way. So let's take a gel pen, which hopefully I did put in there. Did I? Or did I put it there? That's not it, is it? Let's have a look. Of course, if I can't find it, we're not going to do it anyway, are we? There we go. An 08. Let's get it going first on a piece of scrap card. Make sure it's going. Yep. So we just colour in the gaps. If you do it it works better if you go in circular motions. And I think I did share one yesterday, a journal page yesterday, where I'd gone and done it. This is my sort of colouring in because there's no thought to it. But just use, you can use the actual acetate to see where you need to go with the gel pen. And do remember, if you want to put any more on, don't go on again until the actual pen, the actual ink is dry. If you want to put a second coat on, and don't smudge it. Very important, don't smudge it. And also, don't do what I've just done and lean across your fairy, which has got wet ink on it, and get yourself black ink so you go all over with black ink and ruin the whole thing. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to stop before I do that. So if we were to put that onto, I've got a black card somewhere. I'm not going to stick it yet because everything's wet. So pop it on a piece of black card. And that's that one. Does, doesn't it? Lovely. So obviously that'll flatten out, and hopefully I'll have that in the studio tomorrow. So that's that one. So, quick and easy. Simple, simple, simple. So, of course, also, we had to have on the show Pixie, Trixie and Dixie. So, Pixie, Trixie and Dixie are, I think they're quite naughty little, not naughty, but mischievous little fairies. So, I mean, they came in a while ago, actually. Let's look. Trying to find where we are. Here we are. So we had them with the dandelion. That's what they were meant to do, but they can do whatever you want them to do. So across the seed heads or the seed pods, And they do work in a trio really, really well. Again, same kind of thing, different colourways. Where's my... Here, and here's two. This is the one that I shared yesterday. So this is using the Snowy Fur, and you can see I've gone in all of the little gaps and put the white gel pen, and it looks fab. They can also play on the Jester mushrooms really nicely. So we'll have a go at something like that maybe. Okay, oh, we've also got Angela on the show as well, and that's kind of a variation of what we've done, but there's no tree on there, and we've used one or two other stamps, so it's a non-Christmassy one. Okay, so I like using my my journal in my pieces. It works really well. So where's a piece of cards? I've got two backgrounds here that we can work on, or we can make one. What time is it? 27 minutes past. I think we use one of these. Right, let's use this one because it's really cool, isn't it? This is just a mop-up. That's all that is. But mop-ups are useful as well. And I've trimmed it to 5x7, so it'll go in my journal really nicely. So let's see if we can have them playing on something else. So we definitely can have the Jester mushrooms. We can definitely have them playing on that. Oh, what we could do is bring the deer in as well, maybe. I don't know if we'll fit in the Happy Moon. Oh, we might be able to bring some hanging lanterns in. See, making it up as I go along. We've got 2 sentiments. We've got Stardust Magic, and we've got Believing, so we can use one of those because we're doing a non-Christmas effect here. Oh, we could also bring in Starla, but I don't know if Starla will fit as well. Oh, there's so many lovely, lovely, lovely stamps, and not enough time to do stuff. Right, let's just get on with it, shall we? Just get on with it, Julia. What can we have them jumping across? Oh, we could have them jumping across these as well. This is Wildflowers. So we could have kind of a row of these above here, and they could be jumping across those. But I want to do the Jester mushrooms again. I'm a bit of a creature of habit. Let's have them on this. Julia, walk away from the Jester mushrooms. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's stamp this on the bottom and see how we get on. So let's just use a normal acrylic block for this, if I can find one. Don't think I've put them away yet from last week. What did I do with all my acrylic blocks? I must have unpacked. Except I didn't. No, there they are. I haven't unpacked from Thursday yet. And I've got shows tomorrow and then 2 different sets of shows on Friday. So, and I haven't received my stuff for my 1-day special on Sunday yet. So that's going to be interesting, isn't it? Maybe they'll turn up, maybe they won't. Right, I think we need quite a nice strong colour here, so I think we better stick with black so we can actually see them. Or we could go for... No, we'll go for black. I'm just going to stamp it off first of all, just to make sure that... Because I'd rather not do this in the stamping platform, because otherwise it's going to take me ages. So I'm just going to stamp it off onto some copy paper, just to check that I'm going to get my pressure right and my inking right, and also it's lubricated nicely. That looks absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. There are too many fabulous stamps. And actually, I've only got in my little box here, I've only got the stamps that are on this week's show. Can you imagine how long it'd take me if I got them all out? Oh, I just keep on going for my favourites all the time. That's the trouble. Right, so let's have this so that we are having something for them to jump off and something for them to jump on. We might not be able to use the deer, but we'll see. Because Pixie might not fit. They might be not at the right angle, but the little fairies can jump from whichever angle you want them to. Obviously, if you're worried, go into your stamping platform and just have another piece of paper hanging off the edge like I've got here, so that you don't make it messy. So let's have this one up a bit. I mean, any of the mushrooms, they can go dancing along treetops, as you saw with the snowy fir. And we'll have the next one down a bit. Inking with an inch of its life. So we'll have this one. Let's have this one at a slightly different angle, because we can do that. And then we go up a bit again. Or maybe we'll have a couple that are down low below. Let's have a couple down below. So let's have this one only up a little bit. And then the last one we'll have quite high up. And the full effect will be when I take the paper away at the bottom, obviously. This one up like that, going off slightly, because it's nice to have a bit of movement off the page. Then I might go into my squeaky platform. So there's our area for the fairies to play on. Or I might not, I might stick to my press to impress. It'd be really nice, actually, if you guys have made anything with fairy hook stamps, because I know a lot of you bought them. It'd be really nice if you emailed into the shows tomorrow and showed us your makes. We'd love to see them. I think the first show's with Leonie, and I think the second one is at 7 o'clock is with Catherine, I believe. Right, let's go into a stamping platform now, and we can do a bit of multi-stamping. This fit in? Yes, it will. Okay, so let's work out the order that we want our fairies. I wonder if we can get a happy moon in, because he's quite large, isn't he? So if we had him, then we won't necessarily get all our fairies in, but we don't have to always have all of them. But I do want her jumping off that great big one there, so with the happy moons coming out, we'll have moon dust instead. Or you could bring in the full moons. We've got the full moons as well, which isn't on the show, but we do have the full moon. So Trixie, I think she's always poised to jump off something really high and maybe hurt herself, but she's always poised like that. They've got such a lot of character to them. They're unlike any fairy stamps I've ever seen, because they're so naughty, these stamps. I think they are anyway. So we could bring in actually the other one. We could bring in this. Which one's this one? This is Pixie. Pixie could be going from one to the other, but she won't fit there. Let's see. Let's have her going from there to there. So she's jumping from one to the next. That's her. Trixie, Pixie. And where's Dixie? Can we use this Dixie or not? I'm not sure if we can use Dixie this time. See, planning, Julia. Why didn't you plan? Let's have her, if we can have her up here. We could have her. She could just be on that one. Let's have her like that. Let's do that. So I think they're triplets. So I don't think they can be separated really. This is, yeah, it's shaving foam. So what you do is for the background, you pop some shaving foam, cheap as chips. Not, you don't need to use your premium Gillette super duper stuff. The value ones are better. Just pop some in a box, and I use these kind of boxes. One of these, yeah. Pop some in the bottom, and spread it out with a ruler. I use my Tim Holtz ruler. Spread it out. Then you these are sprays, I believe. These are some Diane Reevely sprays. I don't think they're oxides. You can use oxides, you can use reinkers, you can use any form of mister. You can even use your pixie powders as well if you want to, but that's a totally different effect. So you just spritz some in different areas, and then I use the end of my pokey tool and I just go round. You can use a paintbrush, just go round doing swirls. And wherever you see is what you're ever going to print. So if you've got a big bit of ink like that there, that's what you're going to get. So if you don't want that, you want to swirl around in that a little bit more. Then you add a piece of card into it and press it into it. Lift it out and then use your ruler to take off the excess. And if you pop the excess back in the tray, you can get some more prints out. And then you just use a piece of kitchen roll to get rid of any more excess. And it smells quite nice. So it doesn't smell now, but it smells quite nice when you do it. That's how you do the shaving foam technique. Yes, they do, don't they? Hi, Ronnie. Yes, so there's probably loads of YouTube videos because the shaving foam technique is a very, very old technique. There's probably, I've done it on TV a few times, not done it for a while. The trouble is that unless you're actually selling the product, so if I was actually selling the misters, I could do it, but because I'm selling the stamps, I tend to go with backgrounds already made. If I had more time, I'd do more lives and more YouTube videos, but time is very evasive at the moment. Let's give this a bit of a press. Naughty little tykes. Let's see, how we go. We might need to go a second time. Yeah, let's have them a bit darker, because where she's going here, we don't want we want her feet to be darker than the actual wildflowers themselves. So we'll go a second time. There's nothing wrong with the first impression, but we'll go a second time. Also, I can see a little bit of the background coming through there, and I don't want to do that. I want to just see just the three little tykes, we'll call them. The three little mischievous fairies. Obviously, you can't really do this if you're using a block. You do need a stamping platform if you're going to go in a second time or even a third time. Okay, there we go. That's better. Happy with that. Starting to come to life. Right, let's put them all away. Otherwise I should be in a bit of a mess for tomorrow. So that's the one that's going there. This one is Dixie. Fingers. Yeah, I mean, I normally have a session when I'm making shaving foam techniques, and because you can definitely get kind of 3 prints off. So if you want a subsequent print, you need to kind of move the shaving foam back again, you know, so it's flat, and give it another swirl. The colours won't be as distinctive as on the first impression, and then you can take another print. And then you can even do it for a third time, and if you want to, I mean, by the time you get to the third time, so this background would be very purpley blue, rather than seeing any white bits on a third attempt. But you can always add some extra ink if you wanted some areas darker. It's a great one to do with grandchildren. Actually, you just need to. have a big enough sink to kind of clear everything up afterwards. That's the only thing, but it's an age-old technique. Right, so let's see, what else are we going to do? Now we need to have a sentiment in here. So obviously there is the dance sentiment, which is a fabulous sentiment. I think we're going to go for believing. Although the fairies, that one's a nice one. The Stardust Magic, which says, wishing you fairies in your life, stardust in your soul, and magic in your days. We can have that one there. Oh, we can, yeah, let's have that. Let's have that one rather than the believing one. The believing one says, if I put it back properly, which I haven't, the believing one says, if you keep on believing, the dreams that you wish will come true. Which is quite a nice one as well. So we'll have Stardust Magic. So we get that stamp first, and then we can add loads of other bits and pieces like some moon dust and some foliage at the top and stuff. Let's pop that there. So if we have this down low enough, we've got room at the top to do stuff. Straightish. Black again. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. I must be pressing harder down that end of the stamp. Hopefully I've done it right first time. Let's have it a bit darker because it is on purple. So let's have it a little bit darker. Oh, didn't make a mess that time. Win-win. Okay, right. So that's all the stamping I'm going to do in there. Let's put this away. Diane, have you not got any fairy hugs yet? Oh, there's loads now. And next month, September, is Fairy Hugs' first birthday. Not Fairy Hugs on the craft store first birthday, but actually Fairy Hugs' first birthday since they were born. And there's loads of new stamps coming out then, and they are rather beautiful. I haven't got them yet, but I'm sure I will get them soon. Right, so let's bring in some, we'll bring in some Monarch, which is this lovely purple, around the top. Oh, we want some moon dust first, don't we? So let's see, do I want to have a whole moon dust? I don't think I want a whole one. I think I just want my little pieces again from my butchered stamp. So let's see, what colour shall I have it? Decisions, decisions, decisions. This is the hard one to decide. Do we want to go for that again, or do we want to go for a blue? I think blue at the bottom. Let's go for grey again. So she could be, let's see, I want it there. Planning, Julia. Planning. Let's see. Let's have it going up there. That'll work. It's only a suggestion of it. I might have smudged it a bit. You can't tell. So we can have lots and lots of swirly bits if we want to. So we could have some going in up from there. So they are just emitting magic. That's what they're doing. It's coming off of them. Loads of little stars. Loads of little stars. I've smudged that one as well. Obviously I'm not getting on very well with that block with those stamps. But you can barely tell. So we'll have some foliage at the top as well, because we can. So we've got loads of foliage on the shows. So we're going to use, we're not going to bring in our fairy lanterns on this one, or the deer, so we decided against the deer. Let's have a bit of fan coral at the bottom, and some, I want my flower vines. There we go, flower vines at the top. Flower vines haven't been seen for a while, actually. We've not had them on, and they were very popular when we had them. So we're going to go purple at the top, I think. So we're just going to edge it with the flower vines. So we're going to go for our monarch. So this is what it looks like. Lots and lots of little flowers. Really nice stamp. Obviously it's bigger than that, but that's just the bit I inked. So we're just going to frame everything with the flower vines across the top. Up and down. Going over the stars a bit, that's all right. Okay, nicely framed. And then we're going to bring in, because we don't want much at the bottom, we're going to bring in the fan coral, which is actually, as the name suggests, it's from the Under the Sea collection, but it's foliage, so you can actually use it anytime you like on any project you want to. Let's put this one away. That way. That way. That one needs a bit of a wash because it's struggling to stick. Am I going to wash it before tomorrow? Probably not. Did you? Did I give away? What, with the fairy hugs? Don't remember. Been to bed since then. No idea. Right, so fan coral. And we're going to bring in a blue. So let's bring in Paradise, which I think would be a nice blue to use. Oh, do we want it that dark? Yeah, let's have it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look, see what it would be like. Yeah, that'll work. So we just want to give the wildflowers a bit of a base to sit on. Obviously all these kind of finishing touches are all completely optional. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I would as well probably edge with a bit of probably Dusty Concord oxide just around the edge before I put it into my journal. Or this is a 5x7 piece, so you could just make a 5x7 card if you wanted to, or an A5 card. So that's that finished. So let's get my journal. Not that I'm just going to stick it in now, obviously, but I'll show you against the black. Nearly finished this one. It's all filled with fairy hugs. So that would go in there like that. Super. I quite like that. It doesn't really matter that some of them are a bit smudged. Some of the little stars. It just looks quite magical, doesn't it? See, these little fairies will go on anything, and because they're so tiny, I mean they are. find one. The measurements are actually on my website. So Dixie is approximately, well, they're less than 2 inches, just less than 2 inches tall. So they will make you dinky little cards as well. I mean, each section of that could be a card if you wanted it to be. Okay. So yeah, so that's really the 2 demos that we're doing today. Obviously I'll finish off with a bit of colour probably. So don't forget, we've got Angela on the show as well. We've got the Jester mushrooms. We haven't got those. We've also got, there is another one of Angela back here. We've also got obviously got the birch trees, which I use with the moosies there. What else we got? We've got loads of stuff on there. We've got loads of foliage. Obviously not all these. Here we go. Here's Angela in the fairy gate. We haven't got the fairy gate on the show, but we do got, those are the hanging vines, I think. And there's another one with Angela here, just doing a print from my round gel plate, and you can do different text down the edges. And don't forget that Phil's got his big backgrounds coming out on Thursday, so you could actually have a big background, and that's an idea, a big background and a gel plate impression, and then a couple of fairies. That'd work. That'd be lovely. I don't think we've got any more of these on the shows. No, we haven't. No. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you on the craft store tomorrow at what time was it? Oh, we're at 1 and 7, and I will do another Facebook Live probably on Thursday ahead of Phil's 1 day special. I need to try and fit in 2 on Thursday, because I've also got shows for Tutti Designs on Friday as well as Phil's shows. So I'll see how I get on. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the telly box tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.